asking you guys a question. So, how many of you guys made a New Year's resolution this year? All right, not a lot. You guys knew you were going to fail, didn't you? So, how many of you guys kept that New Year's resolution? All right. I think you guys are lying, but it's okay. So before we get into New Year's resolutions and all that, and I'm aware that it is June, and it's not January, but I'm going to tell you guys a story first. So, as Mike said, I've worked in a nursing home for about a year, and I've seen a lot of things. Haven't seen everything, but I've seen a lot of things. And I've learned a lot of different things, but I've got the chance to meet all kinds of new people, and had the chance to work with 40-year-olds with terminal cancer. Had the chance to work with 104-year-olds who are still healthy and can walk around. I've been flirted with by old women, and I've been punched, kicked, and scratched by angry old men. So you just got to take the good with the bad. And one of my best memories, though, was one day I'm working, and one of my coworkers comes up to me, and she says, "Hey," I can't tell you his name because HIPAA rules and all that, but, "Hey, Bob, he's not looking too good." And she said, "I want someone to sit with him." I said, "Okay." And so I go and I sit in Bob's room, and Bob is actively dying. And so it wasn't really a fun time for me. That's not really a fun day for me at work. But it's one of the moments I'll cherish forever, because I'm holding Bob's hand, and I don't really know Bob, but I just started praying for him because I felt like it was the right thing to do. And I said, "Bob, I don't know if you know Jesus, but I really hope that you do. Because here in a couple of minutes, you're going to meet him, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm really jealous that you're going to meet him, because that's going to be amazing." I said, "But I don't know if you know him, and I pray that you do." And so I don't know if Bob knew Jesus or not, but I hope that he did, and one day I'll see him again. But enough of all that sad stuff. Something happened here. 3 minutes in, you're making us cry, Luke. So one of my coworkers, his name is Michael. He's a real tall guy. He's awesome. He's about my dad's age, probably 5 years older, so he's still pretty young. You're welcome, I called you young. So one day, me and Michael are sitting in the nurse's station, and Michael is kind of just looking at me funny. And I'm like, what are you looking at me for? He's kind of being weird. You ever look at someone across the room and you can feel them staring at you, and then you look at them and then they look away really quick and it's that awkward eye contact? Well, that's not what this was. I looked at Michael and he's just looking right back at me, and I'm like, "Dude, what's up? You're staring at this. You're making this weird." And he goes, "I'm trying to figure it out." And I say, What are you trying to figure out, man?" He goes, "I'm trying to figure out what makes you so different." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're just a lot different than kids your age." And I said, I kind of sat there for a second, because I'm not really a cocky or overly confident person. So when someone hits you with a compliment like that out of nowhere, you're like, "Well, shoot, how do I respond to that?" And he goes, "There's just something different about you." And I said, "Well, I mean, I've been going to church my whole life. I hope that's what's different about me." And I have a coworker who was in there too. Her name is Candace, and Candace just kind of laughs. She goes, "Okay." And I kind of look at Candace, and I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Luke, I've been going to church my whole life, and I'm no different than half these people." Kind of hits home. I've been going to church my whole life, but I'm no different than half these people. And that's where a New Year's resolution comes into play. Some of us go to church every Sunday. We go to church every Sunday, Wednesday. We're genuinely good people. We pray, we read our Bible, but we're no different than half the people outside these walls, are we? Hurts, but it's true. It's because we treat God like a New Year's resolution. You know what I mean. January 1st comes around. "Oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by the end of this month. I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm going to stop eating so bad. I'm going to drink lots of water." Right? Don't we treat God the same way? We do. I'm going to read my Bible every day. I'm going to pray every day when I wake up. I'm going to spend lots of time with Him. By the end of this year, me and God, we're going to be like this. It's going to be amazing. Don't we treat Him the same exact way? We do. If you brought a Bible, I'd like you to open to Matthew 13:5. And if not, it'll be up on the screens for you. But this is the parable of the sower. And so Jesus has been performing miracles, and there's a crowd gathering, but he's by a lake, and this crowd is getting so big, they're kind of forcing him into the lake, not because they don't like him, but everyone just wants to be close and hear Jesus. And so Jesus is like, "Well, what am I going to do to talk to all these people?" So he gets in a boat, and he's on this boat talking to these people on the shore. And so it says, some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow, but when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. So this farmer's tossing the soil all over the place, and I'm not much of a gardener, but I probably wouldn't throw seed on a bunch of rocks. I mean, I know better than that, but apparently he did. But, so he's tossing these seeds, and they pop up quick, but they withered because they had no root. They had no root. Remember that. Jump down to verse 20. It says, the seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. So there's that word again, root. They had no root, so they last only a short time. Well, what if we replace that word root with the word time? Since they had no time, they only last a short while. You could replace that word with anything. Trust, money. But they have no time, so they only last a short while. When trouble or persecution comes, they quickly fall away. Well, we might not be persecuted like they were in Bible times. Saul's not coming to kill us. But, I mean, we are persecuted in the way of time. It takes up our schedule, right? So maybe we're not putting our lives in danger, but it is messing up our schedule at times. It becomes another thing on our to-do list, right? So, a lot of us have busy weeks, right? 40 hours a week, have to take care of the kids, maybe mom and dad. But the same reason that our resolutions fall short is the same reason that our relationship with God falls short too. We claim that we don't have time. I don't understand, man. My week was just so busy. My boss is on me right now. You don't understand the week I had, Luke. It was crazy. Like, you couldn't even begin to understand. You know, I get that. We all have crazy lives, right? We're all super busy. I understand that. But, I mean, we can make time for it. You want me to go to work? You want me to pick up the kids from school? You want me to make dinner? You want me to take the kids to baseball practice? You want me to pick them up from baseball practice? And then after all that, you still want me to make time for God? No, of course not. I want you to make time for God before all that, before you do any of that. Because a common misconception is that we do all these other things and then we got to make sure we save a little bit of time for God. I got to make sure this is done because this is a priority. Why isn't God a priority? The everything does not come before God. God comes before everything. Amen. It's simple. So, I'm only 18. I'm a kid. I don't know a whole lot. So, I don't have a mortgage. I don't have bills. So maybe I don't understand how crazy your week was. But let's put that excuse to the test. Are you really that busy? In my wallet, I have 23 $1 bills and some change. I used to think that was a lot of money when I was a kid, but now it's the price of gas. All right. So, each dollar is going to represent an hour of the day. All right? 8 hours of sleep. Can we agree on that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hours for work, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe an hour in the car, you're driving to work, to and from. So there's an hour. Eating and preparing meals, we all gotta eat. You gotta make it, you gotta clean it up. There's another hour. 2 hours for TV, and I know some of you spend like 4 hours watching TV, but I'll only say 2. There's 2. An hour on your phone. Social media, I know you guys, you love your social media. So there's at least another hour. Maybe an hour doing chores. You gotta clean up. Gotta do laundry. Gotta help the kids go to bed. There's an hour. And hopefully, maybe you're spending 1 hour with your family, just in general, maybe some family time. Where are my hours at? Oh, here, I got some change. Here, God. Here's my change. That's all I got for you, I'm sorry. That's all I can give you right now. Just that little bit of change, I'm sorry. That's all I have. You see, I'm so busy right now. I just can't afford to give you any more. That's the kind of effort we're giving God, is it not? We're giving them our couch cushion coins. That's been in our sticky cup holders. That's the kind of effort you're giving God. And then you wonder why you're not different. We need God to be different. And we need Him a lot more than we like to admit, I think. Especially me, I'm stubborn. Anyone else in here is stubborn? I know my dad is. I'm calling you out. I get it from him. I'm really stubborn. I hate asking for help. Like, I almost failed pre-calculus junior year because I wouldn't ask for help. I just hate asking for help. It makes me feel weak. It makes me feel like I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough to do something. It makes me feel small. I don't like it. I don't like asking for help. You know, it's not manly to ask for help. I don't need that map. Those directions for the IKEA couch, toss them. I don't need them. I got this. I don't need God. I got this. I'm going to take care of it. I'm man enough to do this. I got this. Right? We've all been there. Think of your relationship with God like this. Your relationship with God is the same that a light bulb has with electricity. Let me explain. A light bulb, that's us. We come in all different shapes and sizes, right? But what's a light bulb's job? Shine its light. What's our job? Shine our light. Oh, you guys are talking. This is awesome. So, God, He's the electricity. The electricity makes the light shine. A light bulb without electricity, it's just a piece of glass. Us without God, we're just a piece of flesh. We're no different. You need the electricity to shine. You need God to shine, right? Prayer, it's the light switch. Prayer can turn the electricity on or off whenever it wants. Think about it. The light switch sends the electricity to the light bulb. Prayer is our way of talking to God. More importantly, God's way of talking to us. Without prayer, there's no relationship. No relationship, no light. No light, that's bad. That's our purpose on this earth, is to shine our light for others. Why don't we pray? Why don't we pray all the time? It's something I ask myself all the time. Like, well, why didn't you pray about that? Because I hate asking for help. That's the truth. But why don't we pray? No prayer, no relationship, right? The same God that walked on water, fed the 5,000, rose from the dead, He's the same God we're talking to today, right? Right? He's the same God that you're praying to right now. Do you believe that? I believe it. He's no different. He hasn't changed. He's been there all along. The only difference is that you haven't been there all along. He's been waiting for you. He's saying, Luke, I'm here. Just talk to me, man. I can help you through this. I can help you. Just come here. Let me help you. He hasn't changed. He's been there all along. If you think about our relationship with God, it's no different than any other relationship that you have in your life. If you have a best friend and you don't talk to him for 2 years, are you guys really going to be best friends anymore? If you don't talk to your wife for 2 whole days, is she going to be happy with you? Probably not. Now, I'm not saying if you don't talk to God, He's going to be mad at you, but think about it. If you don't talk to that person, is that relationship going to be the same? No. If you don't talk to that person, are you guys going to be close anymore? No. Well, then why would you treat God any different? Why wouldn't you want to talk to Him? Relationships take time and effort. I think we all know that. I mean, you need to invest yourself in that other person. And we choose not to invest ourselves in Him. Prayer is the light switch. The key sending the electricity to the light bulb, making us shine for the world. Ephesians 6:18. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. You see, God doesn't want you to just pray when you're super happy, when you're super low, when you've had a great day or it was the worst day of your life. God wants you to pray to Him all the time, over anything. Like Pastor Kevin preached about a couple weeks ago. He wants you to abide in Him. He wants you to just be with Him all the time. Just talk to Him about anything. And if you do it, eventually you'll pray over the little things and you won't even notice it. It'll become such a habit. And that's what I started to do. I went to Fairfield Career Center, as Mike said. It's about 20 minutes away. Sometimes 15 if I was late. But I began to just talk to Him out loud. I was tired of just being all formal. It kind of sounds bad, but sometimes we think of God as like some big, bad, He wants to be your friend. Just talk to Him. And so that's what I did. I'd get in my car and I'd turn on 104.9 and 20 minutes spent with God. I just talked to Him out loud. Some days I was happy, some days I was yelling at Him. But if God can die on the cross, he can handle me yelling at him, so I think he'll be all right. So I began to just talk to him about my problems, and it kind of became like a free therapy session, and I loved it. Got all my problems worked out. And so I began to look forward to those conversations. I began to look forward to that drive to school. I started to love going to school just for that 20-minute conversation in the morning. I began to look forward to it. And through those 20-minute drives there and back to school, I've now invested 40 minutes of my life, my day, into that relationship with God. And then you multiply that over a couple months, and then all of a sudden, I've got a changed relationship with God. I'm feeling different than I ever have. I'm reading my Bible. I'm talking to Mike about things that I never thought I would. In Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call on me, and you come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and I will bring you back from captivity." So this verse is talking about God's plans for us. He's got good plans for us. Everyone's like, oh, God's going to take care of it. He's got good plans. Well, do you know his plans? Have you talked to him recently? Now, I know God's not going to flat out say, here's your path. Just make sure you do this and you'll be perfect. It's not how it works. But if you don't talk to him, how are you going to know what he wants from you? If you don't talk to your boss for 2 weeks, are you really going to know what you're supposed to be doing at work? If something changes at work and you don't ask about it, what are you going to do? You're going to get yelled at. So you're going to be doing the wrong thing. It's the same thing. If you don't talk to God and pray to him, how are you going to know you're living the right life? How are you going to know you're where you're supposed to be? Because I never thought I would be up here. But I spent time with God, and he said, hey, you're going up there. I said, I don't know about that. A year and a half later, here I am. I promise you, if I hadn't spent just 20 minutes a day in my car just talking to him, I would not be up here right now. And it just took 20 minutes. It doesn't take an hour. If you don't have a bunch of time, it's okay. But just take a little bit of time out of your day. You say you don't. I know you. You have time. I met with Mike. I don't remember when he told me this, but a couple months ago. He was telling me a story about a friend that he has. I don't remember his name, but his friend was telling him that he just kind of fell off the wagon with his relationship with God. And Mike was like, what happened, man? You and God used to be like, you guys were bros. Like, what happened? And he goes, Mike, I forgot to pray. Forgot to pray. I forgot to talk to him. Forgot to spend time with him. I quit spending time with him, and then that relationship just kind of fizzled. It's kind of disappeared. Not because he left. God's been there the whole time. He's been there the whole time. We just been ignoring him. He's been knocking on the back of your head. Hey, wake up. I'm here. We've been ignoring him. I told Mike that I'm terrified that'll happen to me. I'm terrified that one day I'll just forget talking. I'll just forget to talk to him. Then the next day I'll forget to talk to him. The next day, the next day, the next day. And all of a sudden, well, where's God? Where'd he go? It's the key to relationships is communication. But we become consumed with other things like social media, TV, how we spend our time. But I began to invest myself in him because the person that I was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, was drastically different. You wouldn't recognize him. Because the person that I am in Christ is a million times better. I didn't like who I was. Sure, I seemed like a good kid, but I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like a good person. We've all been there, right? Maybe some of you in this room feel like that. There's this song called All Things New by the band Sidewalk Prophets. If you haven't heard it, it's okay. But one of the verses says this, I've been holding on to secrets that I could never tell, because if I did, well then you'd know that I was really someone else. Anyone feel like that right now? I can't tell you my secrets because, man, you'd know. You'd know that I'm not who I claim to be. You'd know I'm not the good Christian kid that I'm supposed to be. You'd know that I'm living a double life like a secret agent. You know that I'm hiding things from you and I'm not really the good person that I claim to be. That's who I was. I couldn't tell anyone because then they'd know. Their perspective of me would be different. I wouldn't be that perfect, molded little kid anymore. I'd be a loser. I'd be someone that no one wants to hang out with. I didn't want that. I wanted their perspective of me to be good, right? We don't want people to think we're awesome, right? Right. And that's who I was. I was someone that I wasn't proud to be. So I just invested myself in him. And he rewarded that. He brings peace and fulfillment to life that just wasn't there before. You know? Like, you never really truly understand what that means until, like, you've been there. Until you're in a tough situation, and then all of a sudden you're just like, peace. Where'd that come from? Well, I didn't do anything. That wasn't me. I'm not good enough to do that. I might be good, but I'm not that good. That was God. You see, there was nothing different about me. I'm just a normal kid. I'm no different than anyone. But there was something different about God, and that made me different. That's what Michael noticed that day. He didn't see anything about me. I'm just Luke. Just a kid who's trying to get a nursing degree. It's nothing special about me. But you know what is special is God. He saw that. He recognized it. Over the past year, I've spent a lot of time just praying and spending time with God, just trying to invest myself in Him. And I really realized that He truly just has been there the whole time. That's something we don't realize. Is that He has been there. If you seek Him, He will be there. He's not going to decline your call. He's not going to put you on silent. He's there. Cry out to Him. See what happens. If you haven't got anything that I've said the whole time, I want you to get this. Focus in here. Our relationship with God will fail every time if we treat Him like a New Year's resolution. It's the truth. Are you tired of feeling the way you're feeling? Are you tired of your relationship with God going nowhere? You feel like a hamster wheel, you're just running that little ball, getting nowhere? You tired of feeling like that? Okay. You know when I say that? Do something about it. If you're tired of feeling like that, do something about it. Because God's already done all the work. That's the truth. He died on the cross for you. That veil was cut in half. You can talk to Him whenever you want. He did all the work for you. All you got to do is just talk to Him. It's not hard, but we don't want to because we're lazy. We want Him to do it for us. He's not going to do it for you. He's already done all the hard work. He did the heavy lifting. Just talk to Him. Cry out to Him. Tired of feeling the way you're feeling? Good. It's about time. I'm going to step on your toes for a second. So if you're wearing flip-flops, curl up your toes. I've been in this church for about 5 years, maybe 6, I can't remember. 5 or 6 years, and been watching the same 5% do it. The same 5% do a lot of the stuff in this church. And then the other 95 just walks in, 9:55. They might clap their hands to the music. They might get into it. They might give $5 for the offering. They might kind of listen to the sermon. I'm tired. I'm so hungry. I cannot wait to get some food after this. I'm starving. Mostly listen to the sermon, but then outside these walls, bam, right back to it. We're no different. You come to church on Sunday, but you're no different. Right? Right. Tired of feeling the same way? Good. Pray to Him. It's simple. Pray to Him. Invest yourself in Him. Because I went to an NYI convention with Mike and PK. I'm going to be honest with you, I was sitting there and I was a little worried. Because I'm looking around the room, and no offense to you adults in the room, it was all old people. It was all old people. I was one of the youngest people there. And there was a tiny fraction of young people there. And I asked Mike afterwards, and I say, not to be rude, but what happens in 10 or 15 years? I mean, not to be rude, but these people are going to be dead. They're going to be gone. What happens? Where do we go from here? What happens next? There's no young people. What happens? Because the same 5% is doing it, and the other 95 is just looking, you're doing real good. You're doing real good. So I question, if you're the 95, what's your reason to come on Sundays? What's your reason to come on Sunday? Are you just patting yourself on the back? Are you punching your ticket to heaven? I'm going to come on Sunday, check that off my to-do list. Oh, I got to read my Bible. Shoot, I don't have time for this. All right, check it off my to-do list. Is that how you're treating your relationship with God? Because I know I was for a long time, and it went nowhere. It went nowhere fast. Is that how you're treating your relationship with God today? Be honest with yourself. Spend 20 minutes with Him in your car, wherever. Turn your radio to 104.9 and sing off tune all you want. That's what I did. Maybe that's not your style, whatever. Invest yourself in some way. That's what you got to do. Because He's already done the hard work. He isn't asking for more than you can give. He knows what you can give. Have you been giving as much as you can? Have you gone all in? Because when I was baptized, I was talking about the sermon that Pastor Stretch gave at Winter Retreat. And he had this big table of poker chips. I'm sure you guys remember me talking about this. He had this big table of poker chips, and he was giving God just a poker chip here and there. And he's got this huge mound, and God's going, well, wait a second. Look at your mound. I want that. I want your mound. I don't just want a little piece of you. I want all of it. I want you to go all in, because what you've been giving me is not good enough. I know all that you can give. It says right here, and you can't. You haven't been giving it. You say you can't, but you haven't been giving it. So give them a genuine effort. Stop giving them the New Year's resolution effort. Quit giving them the, I don't really have time for that effort. Give them something genuine, and then you might actually be different. You might actually feel different. Because in all reality, we want to say that we're different, but we're not really different than the people outside these walls. We're called to be different, right? We act like we are, but we're really not. We're really not. He's faithful to our faithfulness. He's faithful to our faithfulness. So meet with him. He'll be there, I promise you. It's not a 6-month appointment. God's not your doctor. It's not a monthly or a weekly appointment. Meet with him daily. Just talk to him about anything, dude. If it's important to you, it's important to him. It's that simple. Talk to him about it. He's faithful to our faithfulness. Make time for him. And unlike that seed that fell on the rocky ground, it sprouted up really quickly and then withered away. If you make time for him, you will actually have a root. You'll dig deep into the ground, and your relationship with God will be different. Make time for him. His prayer is tilling of the soil. Make time for him. Till that soil, get to know him. Let him get to know you. If you make time for him, your seed will blossom. Your relationship with Christ will be truly different. Because God is truly different. You'll no longer feel the same. You won't feel like my coworker Candace saying, oh, I've been in church my whole life, but I'm not different. If you actually give him a genuine effort, you might be surprised at what happens. Because he's awesome and he can change lives. I've seen it. He can change lives, so what can you do with yours? I don't know. Only he does. Invest yourself in him and you'll be truly different.